Oh, this is quite a good replay. This is one of those races where he picked the wrong car. Everyone's got the effectively still better cars in this patch. I'm in the Aston Martin, which was good and now isn't really. So now we've got Ferraris, Siroccos, G70s, Delta wiggling away trying to clean his tyres off running wide in turn 1. Anyway, so wrong car deliberately, and it was one of those races where I was battling really hard and expecting to battle really hard, but then halfway through inexplicably made an escape, and it was because it all kicked off behind me. So there's a Ferrari trying to go down the inside, but pony boy, but no. Yeah, it all kicked off behind, and all these guys from about 2nd to 7th place, I think it was, were going 3 wide and 3 wide, you know, 6 all the guys, just madness. And it was actually quite good fun to watch. So me being in a slower car, I'm having to defend. Don't know what times I should have been doing. Wasn't great, to be honest, but anyway, I didn't really make any mistakes, just wasn't really particularly on it. But then my mirror's full, and there's about 4 or 5 of us who sort of break away, but because you end up battling and defending as best you can, it soon becomes 7 cars. Anyway, so this mass guy in the G70, even though the G70's been nerfed a bit, it's still way better than the Aston Martin, it apparently seems. You can get the power down much earlier. Doesn't really suffer on straight line speed, doesn't really suffer on the braking. So yeah, there's a bit of a gap starting to appear. I think he outbraked himself. He didn't mean to really do a daily race style push to pass by putting a nose on the inside and then just pushing the other guy wide, but he kept his foot in though. So maybe he did learn his craft in daily races, I don't know. Don't really know this guy. Anyway, I'm forced tight and I leave him room. You love it when it's not reciprocated, isn't it? He pushes his way, tries to push his way through, you leave him room, but you know, whatever. Maybe they might learn something. So anyway, that's me down into 2nd, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need to get past here, otherwise that G70 is going to leave me in the corners, I'm pretty certain of it. So I get a nice draft anyway, and so it's a bunch of 4 cars at the moment, and that isn't going to be 4 for very long. So retake first, having a battle, maximising what you can, and waiting for the next attack, which might come somewhere in the corners. But because you have to start going defensive, you start costing each other time. And Jarve, I think, is about to actually set the fastest lap of the race, just because it was about as clear a lap as anyone got. So yeah, I think, I'm making a bit of a break for it here. Might be able to break the slipstream. Gap's about half a second at the minute, 4/10. But no, that G70 is just so much faster through Pillon. Not a chance. And then he manages to use more corner speed through Fania, and then suddenly he's right back on my tail. So, okay. It's going to be defensive driving all the way then, which is still fun. As I say, sometimes you just, mostly A drivers anyway, but you see some of these people you've met quite a few times before, you know, at a race, and yeah, I'll pick not the best car, see what happens. So anyway, you can see him closing right up. I actually managed to slightly outbrake myself here and ran deep, still held the corner but only just. and then that cost everyone loads of time, and it's about to get everyone costed loads more time as there, because Jarv manages, he manages to switch back. I have to go out and leave space at the inside for this mess, because again, always leave space, but that allows Jarv to do actually a nice, as it happens, double overtake switchback. And then more side-by-side action starts to go off behind. And again, I've got the light. I'm going to have to get this place back, otherwise, again, another G7 is just going to leave this car in the corners. So I'm going to have to make sure I get this pass done. And it all sorts of gets quite tight. Oh yeah, managed it. You see the understeer of that Aston Martin through that corner. Sort of full lock going through there. And then suddenly, it's now 7 cars. Because all that battling has now managed to lose everyone time, and it's created a massive battle. And I was glad to look back to see what happened, to why I suddenly just ended up with a gap, and Jarvin's wide, and so does Ponyboy, and that actually allowed me to break the toe. And then Mass sort of does a send and pushes Jarv out wide, although respect to him, he lifts off and lets him back through, so fair enough. And that was enough to give me about a second, and that kept me out of slipstream range, and that was that from my point of view. But from the back, the battle for second place, this could have been anyone's. So suddenly there's like 6 cars all together, and they can't bunch up any more than it. Look at this. So there's 2 wide, 3 wide. Yeah, they all run off the track. And probably because they're all rubbing and making contact, no one got a penalty. And then it's Mass sort of gets it too late in the braking, goes straight on. Manages somehow to miss everyone but Delta, who he just hits coming back on the track. And then further up the front in that battle for second place, Fabiowski has come from like 6th or 7th to 2nd in a lap, but then he's suddenly down in 3rd and then back up to 2nd. And then more side by side going into Eau Rouge. I just sort it out single file, but now of course it's a big group. Ooh, going down the Kemmel Straight. I think that was GG Racer going right over Eau Rouge. He must have got hit as well, because no penalties were on. You know that, otherwise other people have been taking massive corner cuts everywhere. So anyway, Ponyboy trying to make a move. He just sort of gets around the outside of Jarv. We've got Mass trying to follow through. We've got GG Racer trying to copy him. And they're all squabbling and squabbling and squabbling. So me and the slowest car are now almost out of sight of this lot. Or the slower car. It's not the slowest car. So more battling is just costing them time. But it's still a 6-car scrap. And yeah, it's not by far done yet. So Ponyboy is trying to get at the inside of Fabiowski because he's run a bit wide through Puon, and he's going to go side by side in the Fania, which is also going to cost time, but managed to get around the outside. And he thinks, oh, I might be able to make a break for it because I'm in the Ferrari, and the Ferrari's quite good now. It is, but the G7 has still got pace, mostly coming out of corners. Anyway, the TT is also higher PP, I think, now as well on this patch, and he's going to just outdraft and outpower, and Ponyboy goes, damn, I'm still going to have to battle. And they'll mostly manage to stay on the track on the exit of Blanchimont. For once, single file going into the bus stop. GG race again a bit wide, and pretty much single file coming up to the source. I'm almost out of sight now. Ponyboy has a look, doesn't make it. Java has a look and sort of runs side by side with Delta, and then it's more fighting that's going to happen down the Kemmel Straight because they're all too close. Loads of positions can be swept up and exchanged here. Yeah, what an entertaining battle for second place to watch. Pretty clean as well, really. I've gone. And then it's Jarve going up the inside of Delta, yeah. Ponyboy trying cutbacks on Fabiowski. Can't move out, he's right up his chuff, but can't move out because Mass is down the inside. He kind of rubs his way up the inside a bit, but it wasn't that bad. And now he suddenly finds himself in third place. Ponyboy goes from second to fourth in half a lap, or something like that. So now Mass is trying to chase Fabiowski, but he can't because Ponyboy sends it inside, but he goes too deep. And of course that's just cost Mass a load of time, he had to back out of it. Delta then takes fourth, Ponyboy's suddenly down in sixth place. Delta was second to seventh, now fourth. It's just... yeah. So anyway, the battle for second has almost managed to separate itself. So after 5 laps, Neville just about managed to make a break. I can't remember if they're out of slipstream range or not. That looks like it is, to be honest. So Cam Fabiowski hold second. Oh, Mass goes big wide, okay. So, right to the final corner, and it's more side-by-side action and dives and switchbacks and attempts to get around the outside and hold position and blah blah blah. I crossed the line ages ago. Second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.